Well, thank you very much for inviting me to this very quick interview. As the Minister of Tourism, we're always delighted that traditional leaders do host these traditional ceremonies. For those of you who might not know, these ceremonies actually have a very huge significance to particular chiefdoms, in the sense that I'll give an example of what we're here for today, the Umutomboko. It is in two parts, and I want to just really emphasize that you, my colleagues, the members of the media, do take time to actually understand how these ceremonies are actually coined. So the two parts of Umutomboko obviously is the first part, which obviously we witnessed today, where His Royal Highness the Mwata went to the river there to pay homage. And the homage obviously is based on appeasing the spirits which are obviously within the water. History has it that many years ago, the children of the Mwata actually were misbehaving, and then obviously whatever happened. But this time around, they're using to pay homage. And then the second part obviously is the dance, the victory dance, Umutomboko, as I always say it. Now for us in tourism, it's something that we want to document concisely. That is what we're going to pass down to generations to come. Our children's children need to understand exactly where we're coming from. I've said it before and I'll say it again. A country without a culture is a lost country. So it's very important that we safeguard this particular culture and indeed the tradition jealously. Now, speaking to the aspects of tourism itself in terms of economic viability of these ceremonies, almost immediately, as you rightly asked, accommodation establishments are fully booked. It's not only in Kawambwa, not only in Mwansabondo, but as far as Mansa, some of them in Zambia. Everybody is staying far and wide, 2-hour drives are thereabout. It's more to which what we are trying to create value. If you notice around this particular arena, the palace itself, there is market. People are trading, and that for us is something that is good. So the ministry currently supports close to about 99 traditional ceremonies dotted across the country. Just today itself, on a Saturday, we have a traditional ceremony happening in Livingston, the Venemuku. There's one happening in Isoka, and then there's this one happening here, all supported by the government through the Minister of Tourism. And what we just want to indicate to you, members of the media, is that Luapula is one such beautiful place. Those of you who are coming here for the first time would understand that the natural endowment that Luapula has is something that is second to none. You don't see it anywhere else in the country. And that is why we want to seriously see how best we could monetize it as government. 2-3 critical areas that we're looking at in terms of, actually 4, if I'm not mistaken, is that of tourism, is that of agriculture, is that of energy. We're trying to create more energy in Luapula, and then as well as mining. We've got tenements within Luapula province, but mining cannot thrive without energy. Agriculture cannot thrive without the energy. Obviously, what doesn't take away, what only gives, is that of tourism, and therein lies what we're trying to do as a ministry, to see how best we could now develop the northern circuit. The northern circuit includes Luapula, Muchinga, and the northern province itself. Before our time, obviously many years ago, northern province was one big piece of the pie. But this time around, we've got Muchinga, we've got Luapula, and then northern province proper. That is our focus as government today. We're starting from the top. I probably want to call it the headache itself, where we're talking about upgrading Sumbu National Park, Kasaba Bay itself. Then we're going to look at our waterfalls. Connecting into this particular province remains a challenge, and we're focusing on having to create minimal infrastructure development. We're talking about the road network itself. Already, we seem to be getting it right in terms of airports. We've sorted out Kasama Airport. We're currently working on Mansa Airport. Those of you who have been there will see it. We're also talking about Nakonde Airport. Again, then coupled with the Samora Machel, which is the Mbala ZAF base. So all those will now create an opportunity for people to come and invest in the sector. Remember, the conduit, the draw card in creating more investment in the tourism sector is by creating the minimal infrastructure, the road, the electricity, as well as the water. That in itself is something that we're putting priority as government, and we're hoping that you, the Zambians listening out there, and indeed all the international people, to be able to invest in the sector. There's no better time to invest in Zambia than now. So we'd like to encourage people to come and invest in tourism in the northern circuit. We'd like to encourage you, the locals, to actually visit and attend this traditional ceremony so that you get to understand exactly what we're trying to achieve as government. But in terms of marketing these ceremonies, one thing you will hear from me, and that I've said repetitively, is the very fact that the organizing committee people of the traditional ceremonies need to create a specific date when these ceremonies happen so that we're able to sell it to outside there. What we've actually done as government is to sit with all the traditional leaders, and we've created a complete calendar of events. Those events will happen on a specific date. It could not be the hard date itself, but obviously within the particular weekend or end of the week, end of the month rather, or the beginning of the month, mid of the month. That will now be able to allow our colleagues from the Zambia Tourism Agency to sell that particular ceremony, as opposed to where these ceremonies are only held haphazardly. How do I plan for that particular ceremony, especially if I'm an international tourist? So the Zambia Tourism Agency, through the Ministry of Tourism, has been pushing an agenda to actually allow the organizers of these ceremonies to give us a fixed date. We've started it this year. It seems to be working. I think we'll refine it by next year.